So as Felicia and I were discussing, one of the ways that we can find jobs at the moment is using the internet, and usually we use a job site. And as suggested, I'm just going to show you how to set up a job site account. The one that I like is called Indeed. I'm sure most people have heard of it because it's all over the TV for a start at the moment. But I like Indeed because it searches all of the job sites and usually some companies too. So it puts all your job search into one place. So I'm going to show you Indeed. Okay, so I'm going to go to the site. Oh, little bit of a technical hitch there. Let's go to good old Google instead. Okay, so the first one that will come up will be Indeed job search if you put that into your Google browser. So I'm just going to click on that. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to set up your account on this. So I'm going to go to upload your CV. So this is the front page of Indeed, and here in the top right, just click on upload your CV. Okay, you can sign in with these accounts, but I'm just going to show you how to do it it's not complicated, but the most complicated way, just in case that you need to do it that way. So you've got a little bit of a guide. So I'm going to put my email address in, and if you remember, we wrote that down. Okay, and your password, which hopefully you've remembered. I am human. Don't you just love these things? Okay, what we're looking for, aeroplanes. So if you've never seen one of these, this is just verifying that you're not a robot, basically. So you need to click on the pictures that it asks for. So it's asking for aeroplanes. So I'm just going to click all the ones that have got an aeroplane in. Is that a plane? Yeah. Okay. So it's confirmed that I'm human, and I'm going to create my account. The password there, by the way, is one that you just set up new. So again, maybe use a password that you'll remember. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to upload my CV because I already have a CV. This is the easiest way to do it on Indeed because it pulls through the information. But if you haven't got a CV, you will need to build one from scratch, which is literally just, when you go to that, it'll just ask you the questions and you fill in the boxes. But I do have a CV, so I'm going to click on this button. And then I'm going to select my CV. So just give it a minute to upload. Okay, so what Indeed's telling us here is that it's pre-filled the online CV with the information that it's found in your PDF or your Word CV. So I'm going to review my CV because sometimes, and do bear this in mind, when it pulls through to these sites, it doesn't always get it just right. So I just want to double check that it's correct. Okay, so I'm checking my information. Yes, that's where I live. Yes, that's my mobile. Okay, so I'm going to go next. Okay, so it's pulled through. It's found that I've got GCSEs in geography. But I have got other GCSEs, so it's not quite recognised that I've got others on there. So I'm just going to bring up my CV here. So as you can see on my actual CV, I've got geography, but I've also got history, maths and English lit as well. So I want them to be on my Indeed CV because I want employers to see that I have those as well. So I'll just give you an example of how I add that. So I'm going to put my history GCSE in for you. So I go to add education, select an option. It's a GCSE. Okay. So it was history. It was at the same school, so it's Field Top Secondary School. Okay, and then I'm going to put the years in. I think you might not have to do that actually. I'm just going to save that and see whether... Okay, so if you want to leave the years off your GCSEs, you know, as Felicia and I were talking about putting certain things on your CV and how personal it is to different people. Some people prefer not to demonstrate what their age is on their CV, and some people do. And your age can be guessed really easily from when you did your GCSEs. So that's entirely up to you, but you can leave the year off. You don't have to put that in. So you would just add the other education that it's missed off as you go along. So I'm not going to do that now because obviously we'll be here a while. So I'm just going to click next. And I'm just going to check it's pulled my employment through now. So this is my work experience. So yeah, it's got the right one. So you can see here it's missing the company name here. It's not found my company name there. So I'm just going to go back to my CV. So you can see there that it's Distribute UK. So it's missed off that company. It's not pulled it through. It's not perfect, these things. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on this little pencil. This pencil means edit, and it means you can edit that particular bit in the CV. So, there we go, company name. I'm going to pop that in there. Sometimes it actually recognises the company in Indeed. So you can click on it and it will auto-populate for you. And then the third job, you can see there that it has pulled everything through, and I'm quite happy with that. I think it looks quite neat. It's pulled through the bullet points nicely as well. Just a little tip actually when you're uploading a CV to Indeed is if you do save it as a PDF file, it pulls through a bit neater than it does Word. Okay, so what we're doing here on the next page is we're highlighting our skills, and a lot of people skip this, but this is actually really important because when employers search Indeed on their employer account, these are the skills that they put in to look for people. So if you've put your skills in, they can match their search quite easily to your CV and they can find you. So that's always quite useful as well. So I'm going to pop in there a few skills that I've got. Okay, so we've got them in there. Fantastic. Click on next. Okay, and then it will pull through your CV. Okay, so as you can see here on this CV, I'm not quite happy with how it's pulled through my personal statement there. So I'm going to click on the pencil again and edit. And all it's done here, it's just got the spacing a little bit out of sync. So I'm going to change that slightly. Just make it a little bit neater. It's important that you take time doing this, you know, just make sure that it looks as good as you can, just to make sure that employers can see that you've actually spent some time and put some effort into it. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, so we've got, you can notice it takes the address off as well, so don't worry about, from a privacy point of view, that it won't put your full address on there. Okay. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Got my education in there, the skills that I've chosen. So as you scroll down, you can add extra things as well. So you can put driving license in there, for example, because for some jobs that might be essential. And how long you've had that for. So let's put the years that you've had it. Okay, and in here you can put full, clean driving license. And if you want, actually, you could put UK driving license if it is a UK license. Save that. So you could add other certificates in there as well. So for example, you might have done a training course in health and safety. So if you wanted to add that in, you could just click on edit, again the little pencil. I'm sorry, no, not edit. So you could just click on add, and then we will pop in there health and safety, and then I'm going to pop level 2. I'm going to put the level in there because sometimes That's quite important. And if there's no expiration on this, you can just pop in that there, tick that box, and it won't put an expiry date. And then you just pop in the date that you actually gained that qualification. Save. So you can add as many of them as you like, but just keep it to the essential ones that you feel that employers might want to see. And then we've got other things here. Languages, if you speak a different language, really important to pop that in there. Links, this would be things like links to your, Facebook, Twitter page, LinkedIn. Do remember though, people, that if you're putting that in there, make sure that it's suitable for employers to see. Remember what Felicia and I were saying about that. Just make sure that it's suitable. You don't want to be putting people off with your Facebook posts. And that's the main bulk of the CV. So we're going to save and continue. Okay, so the next thing is that they just want to clarify that you are who you say you are. So they want to confirm your email address. So what will happen is you'll get an email with a link, and that's where you need to confirm your account. So I'm going to go back here to my inbox, which I keep open in a different tab. Okay. And then you'll see here in my inbox, John from Indeed. They're making it personal now, which is interesting. And then you click in there, and then there's a really big blue button here, confirm your Indeed account. And when I click on that, it'll open a new tab. Okay. So you can see here, it's saved your CV, it's all in there. That's fine. Okay. So just click on these, save that. Lovely. There you go. There's your CV done on Indeed. I can now close this tab here because this is the verified account now. If you look on the right hand side, you'll see some settings, and these are your privacy settings. So your CV is set to public by default. Okay, that means it's visible to anybody. Do remember that employers do look on Indeed for CVs for their jobs. So if you want employers to be able to find you, you need to set it to public. Do bear in mind, that the only thing that they will see will be your email address and your telephone number and the things that you've decided to put on there. So if you thought, well, actually, I don't want my telephone number on there, you can edit that again with the pencil and take it out. You don't need to have it in there. So it's entirely up to you depending on how you feel about your privacy. But do bear in mind that if it's not public, employers can't see it. You can set it to private, but they can view your CV, but only if you apply for a job. So if you prefer that, you can do that as well. And that's your CV. That's your Indeed account.